It's Tuesday, December 5. In the headlines, calls for more intentional social programs to prevent violence. We also have business news. The Consumer Affairs Commission says some models of knob radiant cooktops being recalled in Jamaica. Regionally, Trinidad and Tobago's government pressing on with cashless programs. In sports, Tivoli Gardens FC won 3-2 against Treasure Beach FC in a Premier League match on Monday. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Government Senator Dr. Sophia Longmore wants more research and intentional programs to prevent child abuse and juvenile delinquency. Senator Longmore, who is also a psychiatrist, raised the issue during her contribution to the State of the Nation debate. She linked child abuse to juvenile delinquency and crime and violence. Senator Longmore wants Jamaicans to be intentional about what is taught in schools and what is practiced in society, so as to influence positive attitudes within our children.
I have two sons, 11 and 10, the tweens. And separate apart from my sons, I have a lot of friends who have kids this age. Last week alone, I got 4 calls from mothers of 10 and 11-year-olds. Every single one of them is asking for my services to deal with anger issues in those children.
She wants fathers to be more involved in antenatal clinics to foster a bond with their children, noting that family is key to the development of good citizens.
Family mental wellness days. Our labor laws should be adjusted, I think, to reflect the priority of the time that needs to be spent with our children. Senator Gale. We need to have the time. Use technology. Our laws are set in a time when we do not have the advantages of efficiency that we have today.
Students are being urged to use technology to create a better future. This from Dominican Republic's ambassador to Jamaica, Her Excellency Angie Martinez. Mrs. Martinez gave her remarks at the handover of a computer room at Clancarthy Primary School in Kingston last week. We hear more in this report from Danita Rodney.
Students at the Clancarthy Primary School last week were encouraged to take advantage of the opportunities provided by technology to create a better future. While addressing the ribbon-cutting ceremony and handover of a computer room at the school, the Dominican Republic's ambassador to Jamaica, Her Excellency Angie Martinez, said the contribution was a response to an expressed need from the school.
We are here to deliver a resource that will open new horizons for each and every one of these students. A fully equipped computer room. This donation will include a room with 14 desktop computers, as well as 30 comfortable and colorful chairs. I love the chairs that's shown. Thank you. An air conditioning unit and a multifunctional printer and a scanner. Additional computers will be provided to use in the staff room and the library thanks to IQ Tech.
She said the new lab represented a gift to unlocking endless possibilities.
The day marks a momentous occasion as we gather to celebrate the spirit of education, innovation, and progress. I stand before you as ambassador of the Dominican Republic with a heart full of joy and pride as we come together to hand over a gift that goes beyond technology. It is a key to unlocking endless possibilities and shaping for the future of these wonderful children.
Ambassador Martinez continued to encourage the students to embrace technology to contribute to their community and the wider world.
In the fast-paced world we live in, these computers are not just only machines, as Mrs. Wright said. They are ready to serve as a hub of knowledge, exploration, and creativity and will be portals to a world of information and a great way to endless possibilities. As we hand over these computers, we do so with the firm belief that we will be used not just for learning, but for creating, for dreaming, because we believe in your dreams, your aspirations, and your ability to make a positive impact.
She further implored them to believe in their dreams, work hard, and remain curious in pursuit of success.
Believe in your dreams, work hard, stay curious, and let the flame of your ambition light the path to success. The world eagerly awaits the unique contributions that you can make. So spread your wings, chase your dreams. You are the architects of your destiny, and the world is ready to witness the greatness that you are destined to achieve.
The donation of the computer room was done through the Embassy of the Dominican Republic's Adopt a School program, which focuses on promoting the Spanish language and fostering an understanding of the Dominican culture, as well as deepening bonds of friendship between the country and Jamaica. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I'm Danita Rodney.
144 housing units will be constructed over the next 2 years in Tivoli Gardens, West Kingston. Ground was broken recently for the development dubbed Royal Estates. Through this development, residents of informal settlements like Baccabush and Rasta City will have the opportunity to own their own homes. The move forms part of the National Housing Trust's Community Renewal Program. The development will feature multi-use units, including commercial and residential. Member of Parliament for Kingston Western, Desmond McKenzie, in his commendation to the NHT, says steps are already being taken to commence construction. He says the development of the area had always been the dream of the late former Prime Minister, the Honourable Edward Seaga.
This is a dream that we all welcome Prime Minister. It has been many years in coming, and today we relish the thought that finally, after many years, not by this administration, and I want to be a little political because the funds were provided to build the housing community from 2007. So it is not this administration of Prime Minister Andrew Holness is the one that stepped in and have rescued the people of Rasta City who has been living in a deplorable condition for many years.
He told attendants that the residents in the area have been meeting with the National Housing Trust regarding their responsibilities as home owners.
And everybody who lives there understand that there is no free house to be given over there. We have started the process of persons who are not NHT contributors. They have now started to get themselves regularized so that they can benefit from this golden opportunity.
During his keynote address, Prime Minister Andrew Holness emphasized that the development of Royal Estate represents hope and opportunity.
The development is a testimony to your government's unwavering commitment to building not just houses, but communities under the banner of the NHT's Community Renewal Program. The Royal Estate will have 144 housing units, which will include 130 duplexes and 14 mixed-use units. I gather that provisions are being made in the mixed-use units for some commercial enterprises. This is a new feature of the NHT development, but it is in consideration of the needs of the people.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is now on a working visit in Washington, D.C., USA, from December 4 to December 7. He shared the information via social media on Monday. During his absence, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, will be in charge of the government. The National Water Commission says remedial work will be undertaken shortly along Marcus Garvey Drive in Kingston to both safeguard the sewage system as well as to ensure the reliable and on-scene conveyance of effluent. In a media release, the NWC notes that a team responded to reports of sewage overflows on Monday in that vicinity, and the issue has been corrected. The NWC adds that plans are in place to permanently resolve it. These include the following: installation of the new submersible pumps recently procured by the NWC at a cost of $25 million. Design and installation of a customized screening system to prevent debris, intrusion, and safeguard pumps. Tracking of the network to identify and remove illegal connections and intrusion point. The agency will also continue public education activities to sensitize persons on best practices for garbage disposal. The NWC is again appealing to the public to use the system properly, as the downtime and replacement costs are significant. This week in Living Healthy, we hear from Dr. Michelle D. Moore. Her practice focuses on holistic health and healing.
All right, so let's break it down. So holistic is the whole. So the body, the mind, and the spirit. All the functions, the elements that the body is made of. Nutrition. Food is often seen as nutrition, but it's an aspect of nutrition. And nutrition is basically elements that the body needs to function. So nutrition covers a natural diet, healthy diet, emotional poise, so your mental balance, healthy relationships, fresh water, fresh air, and exercise. So we're looking at the body as a whole. A lot of the focus is usually on what we put into the body, food and drink, but the heavy focus should really be its internal environment, the mind and emotions. Emotional and mental balance is so overlooked, and there's a stigma about mental health and even automatic negative thoughts, which we all have. It's just whether they control you or you control it. A lot of people are ashamed or embarrassed and don't want to admit that they are suffering poor mental health. So the more we focus on what's going on inside, is the more we can help ourselves in our everyday life. And it has a knock-on effect on who we are and what we do.
When it comes to mental health, some persons often do not feel it necessary to seek safe help.
The biggest factor from my experience is trust. That hinders a lot of people admitting and actually opening up to someone like a therapist. So I start off with an initial consultation that allows you to get a feel of me and me to obviously understand your conditions or your problems, your symptoms, and we can look at how we can work together on a program. And really just the opportunity to have that space, that safe space that you can share and you can open up and be truly honest with yourself.
What advice would a holistic doctor give someone who wants to begin their journey of eating healthy?
So the core thing to do is, I say, eat from the rainbow. Eat the colors of the rainbow. Some of us limit ourselves to particular types of food because of culture, because of ease, but go to the supermarket and pick different colors. You know, oranges, aubergines, carrots, reds, yellows. We want to explore the vegetable kingdom as much as we can. If you are a meat eater, we want to consume less animal products. So if you're eating chicken or meat or fish, try to have more vegetables, more of the plant kingdom dominating your meal than the animal kingdom. And try to ensure that it's fresh and wholesome and organic as possible. So less processed food and basically picked from the beautiful trees that we have here in Jamaica.
Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Good day and welcome to the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams and I'm thrilled to be your guide through the dynamic world of business and finance. Let's dive right into today's top stories. For a look at consumer news, the Consumer Affairs Commission, CAC, is advising that the knob-controlled electric radiant cooktops model GE JP3030 is being recalled in Jamaica. The recall, which can be remedied with a repair, is due to the fact that the cooktop's burners can remain on after use, even after being turned to the off position. This is due to a misaligned burner knob stems and fractured burner knob components that can exist in units manufactured between July 2022 and September 2022, posing a burn hazard to consumers. Affected persons are advised to visit the CAC office for more details. From consumer news to investing news, our investing journey begins with the Forex market. According to the latest data from the Bank of Jamaica, BOJ, the US dollar made quite a splash, bringing in a profit of $28 for traders. It took 155.19 cents Jamaican dollars to purchase one US dollar, and due to demand and supply, holders of US dollars traded the same for as low as 126J for the greenback. Meanwhile, traders looked to other currencies for Forex trading gains. The Canadian dollar secured a profit of $25.62 with a buy rate of 112.47J for one Canadian dollar and a sell rate as low as J86 for one Canadian dollar, according to the BOJ's official website. And for pound sterling enthusiasts, the trading opportunity saw a profit margin of $29 with a buy rate of $190 for one sterling and a sell rate as low as $161 for a sterling. But that's not all. Investors had their eyes on the stock market. According to the Jamaica Stock Exchange report, for the week ending December 1, wind power dominated the stock market. Wigton Wind Farm Limited ordinary shares accounted for 42% of the week's trading activity. Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited had nearly 20% of the market volume for the week ended, and food and finance conglomerate Grace Kennedy Limited had 9% of market volume. While wind power, transportation on the toll road, and food stocks dominated activity on the market, according to the JSC reports, investors made the most money last week with two stocks. First Rock Real Estate Investments Limited and Cygnus Real Estate Financial Limited both jumped in price by nearly 18%. While those investors were clocking profits, the JMMB Group 7VR Jamaican dollar preference shares lost 15% of its values in trading last week. Additionally, movie theater owner Palace Amusement also lost 14% of its value in last week's trading. Now, turning to real estate as another investment option, if you're seeking a bargain, realtors suggest the natural beauty and untapped potential in places such as Portland and St. Elizabeth. These areas may provide appealing opportunities for investment for anyone prepared to venture off the beaten path. And now for the credit report tip of the day. In today's fast-paced financial world, staying on top of your credit is crucial. For our debt tip of the day, make sure to order your free annual credit report. It's essential for checking errors and ensuring that your debt payments are accurately reflected. And that's a wrap of today's Business Focus. I'm Denise Williams, and this has been the Business Report, where we bring you the latest in business and finance, empowering you to make informed decisions. Stay tuned for more insightful updates. Until next time, take care and prosper.
In regional news, Trinidad and Tobago's Finance Minister Colm Imbert says the government is pressing on with its cashless programs, noting that cashless transactions are the way of the future. Sunil Lala reports.
Noting that many countries are pushing forward with cashless transactions, Finance Minister Colm Imbert says TNT must not be left behind.
There are many countries in the world where cashless transactions are almost at 100%. And Asia is catching up very, very fast with the Nordic countries.
Speaking at the launch of a workshop for a national financial inclusion strategy at the TNT International Financial Center, he said millions worldwide still rely heavily on cash, and it's the same locally.
Cash is used for 63% of transactions in Trinidad and Tobago. Debit cards account for only 12%. Credit cards, minuscule 3%. Online or mobile banking, 2%.
He said even 86% of small and micro businesses do not use digital instruments within their operations, and he is confident the National Financial Inclusion Strategy will transition the economy to a cashless one, particularly for those who have reservations about it. Meanwhile, Chairman of the TTIFC, Richard Young, said the strategy will address major challenges such as financial literacy and trust in cashless transactions.
Our roadmap will tackle these obstacles head-on, promoting initiatives that enhance financial literacy and consumer protection, with the central bank being the lead on that, reinforcing trust in the financial system and eradicating the deep-rooted prejudices that have perpetuated inequality. Constant dialogue with the public is ever so crucial.
And EU Ambassador to TNT, Peter Cavendish, said he believes it is the opportune time to increase financial inclusion.
And we see that this country has the potential to be an agent of change for the region, an agent of change and a leader. This is a country which is in the Americas number 3 for education, and that's after the USA and Canada. So here in this country, it's ripe to take the initiative in this digital financial sector.
Minister Imbert said the financial inclusion gap has widened over the last few years, particularly due to the pandemic, but he is hopeful TNT can minimize or close that gap soon. Sonolala, TTT News.
Chairman of the Barbados Broadcast Authority, Dr. Alison Laycock, wants local broadcasters to stop applauding mediocrity and raise the standards. The veteran broadcaster, who also heads the National Training Initiative, says when it comes to standards, we need to be unapologetic.
How we train people and who trains people. You can train and tick a box. You can train badly. You can train bad habits. None of that helps somebody to transform into the breadth and the depth of what a broadcaster is versus an announcer versus a DJ. Now, there is a role for all of those dimensions. And we have seen the absolute burgeoning of DJs. There's a role for them. But I think those of us who are trained broadcasters have to take some of the blame for allowing the standards to fall as low as they have. Because I like you or I know you, it doesn't mean because you want to do it that you are good at it. And I have a responsibility to shield you from ridicule if you are below par. I have a responsibility to raise the bar, to help you get to where you can get to. And I believe that if we were to revisit all of what we have been accepting as adequate rather than the best, rather than being top drawer, which is what we are capable of. And CBC has turned out the finest. So there is absolutely no reason for us to settle. And I think that that, for me, is a huge, huge problem.
In Grenada, former West Indies great Sir Vivian Richards was honored. Sir Vivian Richards is prominently featured on the newly launched Eastern Caribbean Central Bank's $2 commemorative polymer note.
I greatly appreciate your support. You know, as a sportsman, I've always tried to perform my best when I knew I had the support of the people who came out to see the matches. I'm truly humbled tonight to receive this recognition from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. To be honored in such a way is something dreams are made of.
That was Sir Vivian Richards sharing his first impression following the unveiling of the new EC $2 polymer banknote, the front of which features him. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB, launched its EC $2 commemorative polymer banknote Friday in celebration of the bank's 40th anniversary. The new note showcases a portrait of the legendary cricketer Sir Vivian Richards, affectionately known as the Master Blaster. The EC $2 commemorative note is the first to have reflective silver ink, gold iridescent ink, and holographic blue foil appearing together on a banknote, representing an innovation in global currency design and security. Sir Vivian Richards recognized the ECCB's role in steadying the economies of the member states of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union.
The bank is today celebrating 40 years of its existence. It has played a significant role in continued development of the islands of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, the OECS, and has carried out its mandate to stabilize the economies of these islands that we love so much.
Governor of the ECCB, Timothy Antwine, said the commemorative note is part of a host of celebratory activities.
This is year 40. You just saw the historical reel. And as our country manager indicated, all year long we have been celebrating our 40th anniversary, themed ECCB at 40, a year of reflection, celebration, and implementation. And as you heard, we have done many things this year to commemorate this special milestone moment. And that brings us to this evening. Why precisely are we here? Well, I think you kind of know where we're going. But one of the things that we absolutely wanted to do to mark this momentous milestone was the issuance of a commemorative note.
Governor Antwine said there was tremendous support for the issuance of the $2 note. The note will be available at commercial banks throughout the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union from 6th December. Chrislina John, GBN News.
In sports, we kick off with football as Tivoli Gardens won their match against Treasure Beach FC 3-2 in Monday's fixtures in the Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League at Stadium East. The win was an uphill task for the seasoned team, who were playing against a relatively new group of players from St. Elizabeth. Both teams played head-to-head for most of the match. First 2-0 in favor of Tivoli Gardens, then 2-2 as Treasure Beach FC clawed their way back into the game. In the 4th minute of added time, Tivoli Gardens missed a goal-bound shot. From the resulting corner kick, Alton Lewis scored a clincher in the 5th minute of added time, breaking the hearts of the Treasure Beach players. Staying with football, Jamaica's senior reggae girl Jodie Brown is doing well in her duties abroad. She scored a brace to assist her Florida State University team to another national title after they downed Stanford 5-1 in the NCAA Women's National Championship final. Both teams entered the field unbeaten, but it was Brown and her FSU team that proved to be the best at the Wake Med Soccer Park in North Carolina on Monday night. And that's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thank you so much for watching.